So Unit 5, Activity 4, looking at how does the Earth change over geologic time. And there's lots of change that occur over time. It's crazy how fast things can change sometimes, and other things they've changed quite slowly. So the idea here is responding to environmental change. There's a digital version of this table here that you need to sort of download. But what you want to do is you want to think about how these things, well, humans can respond to these environmental changes. So here talking about the Industrial Revolution, of course, then you've got emissions and you've got greenhouse gases and you've got climate change. So how can humans respond to this? And then it talks about, where societies or civilizations have tended to settle or to locate themselves. So again, how can we respond? Because there's things that are happening now that maybe make those locations not as safe as they used to be. Anyway, so all these are different scenarios and situations, and you need to come up with some ideas on how humans can respond to these environmental changes. Climate change is a big example of all this, and so here it's looking into that whole idea and how they relate to natural processes and hazards. So these different change agents are, water, wind, chemical weathering, erosion. These are all different things that can happen. And so what you're going to do here is think about these in terms of time scale. Some of these can happen quite quickly, either it's a longer period of time. There's a GIS story map here you can use to sort of look and feel through these things. And once you've been through this, what you then want to do is you want to sort of look at this process, hazard, and landscape agent of change, this climate piece, so long-term, short-term. So the map and the learning object will give you a bunch of information that you can use to think about the Earth in the past, recent history, and what's happening now. And then use that information here to complete this activity, which is looking at long and short-term changes to a location on Earth. And so in this case, you're thinking about a certain location and all the different things that could happen. So again, looking about changes in geologic, climatic, or hydrologic history of the area, including things like hazards, disasters, glaciations, flooding, etc. Different journal entries from the perspective of the region is if we're a person. So they pretend it's a person. It's getting cold outside, right? Comments like that, whereby an ice age is coming, and so the area is sort of speaking as if it was a human and it was impacting them that way. And then, of course, you want to have things in chronological order from past to present, and describe each event from the perspective of the landscape experiencing it. Okay, so it should be like a personal journal, and that gets submitted here. And the final activity for consolidation is a local example. So something in the area where you live. So you're thinking of trying to figure out something that occurs there. And then basically identify one natural process or agent of change that operates in your local area and answer the following questions in the discussion. So these 3 questions here need to be answered based on where you live. Don't be afraid if you can take an image of it or find an image of it or a picture or something like that. You could add that to the discussion as well, which really helps to illustrate what it is you're talking about.